a scare, maybe exaggerated, but it's certainly there. And a lot of the Indian consumption story also depends on IT. Let's say in places like Bangalore or Bengaluru or Pune, to some extent Gurgaon, real estate's a consumer market. So what are your thoughts? What's the government's reaction to that?
The biggest strength of our IT sector, and especially the big IT companies that we have, their strength is to be able to go to an enterprise, understand how that enterprise works, and basis that provide the technology solution which will work in that enterprise. That's the strength. In the past, this strength was demonstrated when the Y2K problem came. We have seen how the transition from on-prem to cloud happened. That was also done by our IT sector. In the past, we have seen from the legacy systems to more modern programming language, more modern software architectures which happened. And this is now the transition where we are shifting from the coding to automatic coding, but using an architecture which is designed by the IT companies, by the teams out there. The trust factor in deploying AI is very, very important. For example, if there is a banking company, that bank would not like to hand over the coding to either a software or any other person until and unless they trust it. An insurance company, a retail company, any company that you talk of, any enterprise that you talk of, they would like to have people who are trusted, who understand, who can be trusted with their data, with their internal architecture, with their business model. That is where the role of IT companies will significantly grow in the coming years. Yes, this will require a lot of effort. From the Government of India side, we are putting huge focus on providing the talent pipeline. From the state governments, especially the state governments like Government of Karnataka, Government of Telangana, Government of Tamil Nadu, Government of Maharashtra, they will have to put in a lot of effort to make sure that their colleges in their states, they get reoriented towards AI-based IT solutions. So the responsibility will have to be taken by the IT industry as a primary, and the state governments and central government. We will be there fully to support this transition. I am personally discussing with practically every IT industry leader, and whatever support they need, we will provide. The state governments will also have to take a large part because the colleges are located within their jurisdictions, so they will have to also take a large part of this work.
Right. Just a follow-up to that, sir. If you look at the pace of AI advancement, it's almost like gradually and then suddenly, because in the last 1 month, there have been so many advancements. Every day we see one new industry or function getting disrupted whenever Anthropic makes some release, for instance. So while, the industry grapples with this and they upskill employees, is it going to be a very painful transition period? What's the backstop that we have? Because this has been a huge source of employment for engineers, and as Bodhi said, it will have second-order effects on consumption, investment, basically the entire economy. So should we prepare for a painful transition period, say, for the next 1 to 2 years, before it's determined what new types of jobs are getting created?
We must be prepared. We must take it very seriously. This is once in a generation kind of transition which is happening. So we must be prepared for it, and we must take every action proactively. That's precisely the reason why we started the Future Skills program almost 3.5, 4 years ago. And that was done in partnership with the IT industry so that they can rapidly start the upskilling work. And of course, the numbers there are huge. Almost 8 lakh IT industry professionals have been upskilled. But that number has to be now scaled up at a much significantly higher level, and that talent pipeline has to start getting created from the colleges onwards. That's why the Ministry of Education at central government level and the Ministries of Education at state government levels with the industry, we will all have to work in a very concerted manner, and that's what we are attempting at this point of time.
Right. Just one more question. Last week was also notable because I think we had 5 foundational model releases. Sarvam, of course, everybody would have heard. But apart from that, we had 4 more startups which released foundational models. And, there are going to be 5 to 7 more over the next 12 to 24 months. Are you happy with the kind of research and investments that's happening in the foundational layer in India? And will it continue to take push from the government? Because what helped these first 5 models was the GPU access that the government provided, the investment that you provided. So will that continue to be a big push? Because you've also announced, India AI 2.0. So what kind of outlay can we expect for that?
We'll have to scale up our investment. We'll have to scale up our compute to a significantly higher level. When we started the AI mission, that time 10,000 GPUs was the target. We have achieved already 38,000 and another 34,000. Another 20,000 we are adding. But I think we'll have to go somewhere near 200,000 or even more than that. Then only we'll be able to do real, the kind of demand which is coming up. And that is why the recent budget announcement of tax break till 2047, that's very important, because that basically provides that huge momentum to bring the entire world's data to India. We process it, we provide those services using that data in a secure and a trusted manner, because one, India is trusted. As a country, the world trusts us. As an economy, the world looks at us as a trusted partner. So therefore, it's very important that we follow up on all these plans. We'll have to invest significantly higher numbers. Apart from the big announcements which were there in the AI summit, there are many other people who did not decide to announce, but they have the plans to which they will keep unfolding in the coming months, where they would also like to set up significantly large infra facilities throughout the country, so that the talent pool can get the infra which can be then used to provide the services.
Right.